Hello and welcome to Inside Line versus Outside Line in Real Racing 3. Is this something that they coded into endurance races? For our example, we'll be using the Indianapolis Motor Speedway because it's an easy track to illustrate this at. As such, I have to use the Imperial system because that's how it was built. It's 2.5 miles long, which is 13,200 feet. The straightaways are 50 feet wide, but the corners are 60 feet wide. That's the important figure we're going to use. Let's convert this to a circle example just to make it easier. I'm hucking a whole bunch of math on the screen here. The main point is the bottom conclusion. It just shows you there's definitely a difference between traveling on the inside line versus the outside line. Let's do the actual example now. I was going back and forth trying to get the distance marker to roll over a bit. There we go, it just hit 252. So I'm about to fly forward taking the inside line. So I'm going to be as far to the inside as possible within reason. Like obviously there's a wall there. I don't want to be hitting the wall, but watch this. You can take your right sides under that white line if you want to. Now that gets harder as I get going faster. So we started at 252. I used the first lap to bank time to make sure I had a full timer, because I wanted to be careful. Definitely don't want to go off track because this is an endurance race and it'll stop registering. And I didn't want to go flying too far up out of the line. I'm trying to get reasonably accurate data. And then I need time to slow down and stop right at the line. Now, here's something interesting. The way they measure the distance of this track varies by different series. So they do say, blankety blank is the distance around this track. Some use that bottom white line, some use the middle, some use a certain distance from the top line. It depends on the series. But regardless, obviously, there must be a difference between the bottom line and the top line. So this is probably 5.025, but this is what we're going to go with. That works out to 2.5 miles. Okay, so watch 2.54. Just waiting for that to go to 2.55. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do the same example on the outside line now. I'm going to try to keep it really close to the outside wall without hitting the wall. I don't want to start throwing myself off. So, like here, right here, I really would be probably 50 to 60 feet from where I was driving because they're going from the white line and I was below the white line. But regardless, let's just say it's only about 50 feet. Like here, it's going to be about 40, but this is a straight section, so that doesn't really matter. Obviously, it should be registering even in the first decimal place. So the above decimals, in the game they only show us the 10th and the 100th place, not the 1000th place. The 377 example I gave you is showing tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. So we should at least see a change of 0.1, I'd say at least 0.2. Now let's watch this marker as we're getting close. 5.05, so probably 5.055. Okay, well those two fives cancel each other out. Look, it's exactly the same distance. So here's the point, and we're going to let an endurance race play, a very difficult one. The point is, the game doesn't care where you're driving on the track. It's only logging that you're on the track. So if you take the outside line in an endurance race, you're actually taking longer to get around the track. So why am I showing you this example? Well, because in most cars, you have to go outside to inside on a regular basis. This is a ridiculously hard race. And traffic is insane. I love it, actually. But sometimes in endurance races, early in the game, I used to purposely drive on the outside to try to log more distance, not realizing I wasn't. I was actually just wasting a bit of time. So I still sometimes do that if I've got time to kill, but not always. And I've tried to do an actual Indy 500 race here. Holy smokes, is it ever difficult. Like, look at this traffic. And you can't just slow down or they stop getting created in front of you. Okay, so here's a test. See how quick your reaction time can be. Accidents happen very fast here. See if you can see it happening. And this car's brakes are not that great. So I'm pinned. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go right. I could have maybe gone left off track. But if you go too far off track, you can't recover. Lastly, if you're one of those people who thinks turning left all the time is easy, I challenge you to give this a shot. Look at my gas pedal. I don't lift it. I'm staying full throttle through the corners while passing cars. That is not easy to do. You got to get comfortable with the bots and with the walls. By the way, I'm over 100 kilometers right now. My bumper's blocking it. Lap 27, so it's kind of obvious. Give it a shot. It's actually pretty challenging and fun. Please like, please subscribe. Join me for another video coming up shortly, because I put them out a lot. Bye-bye now.